You found it?
Yeah, so let's go back to this painting. Okay.
Can you guys hear us now? I'm gonna assume you can. Okay, I'm gonna do that intro one more time. So, this is Natalia Aandewiel.
Hi, nice to meet everyone.
Yeah.
Sorry.
She's gonna be doing a seascape painting. Where was the photo from?
It's Monterey.
Monterey?
Yes.
Okay. And this is we're trying to raise money for humanitarian efforts in Ukraine. If you guys go to proko.com/Ukraine, you can find all the information there about the charities. And then there's also rewards you can purchase, like
Is there any
original art. We're streaming! Yeah, we figured it out. There is now. Thank you. Yeah, there's original artwork, mentorship sessions, a whole bunch of stuff. And then the schedule for the rest of the week is on there as well.
So
anyway.
bad Christian already got the haircut. There is no...
Oh yeah, that already happened. Are you next? Or Leon? Leon's got a nice head of hair. Look at that. We still have the razor.
Oh, you have nice hair.
No, I don't. My hair is already bad, but you know.
Of course.
Oh yeah, by the way, this
I
is
have the
Leon.
nicest, but it's how you call it when what you can buy for money? It's invaluable.
Oh, it's
Invincible.
Priceless, yeah.
Sorry. Hi guys, I'm Natalia. I'm from Ukraine originally. I apologize for my terribly good English sometimes, and if I forget a word, I will need some help, but I will try to do my best to share my technique, and I hope you'll have some good time with me and learn something, and it's all I always enjoy listening to people's experiences, and if you have any questions, please comment and ask me if you are interested in anything.
Oh yeah, promote your website and your Instagram as well. Like, where can they follow you?
Sure. Is it possible to post it?
Yeah, we could.
Natalia
maybe if they're
Aandewiel. So
listening.
my
John.
name.
John.
Yeah, my last name is a hard one to spell. So it's Natalia, Natalia, and then Aandewiel, which is Aandewiel.
Cool. We'll put it on the screen.
.com. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, please go to my page and look what I've done so far in my life.
There it is.
Okay, we're gonna start. Can you show what I have here? I got some new nice brushes, just for you guys. New nice brushes and some turpentine. Some turpentine with linseed oil and some paints, favorably donated by Stan, some pre-mixed paint here.
You told me not to take it off. I mean, you can use that if you want. That's from yesterday.
No, it's very valuable. I like it because I will need it for sure here. When I always paint landscape from real, meaning that I go to the place and I set up my easel and enjoy the beautiful view and fresh air, and I paint. This is something new to me. I don't think I've done a painting of ocean from the picture.
Yeah.
But it's so much different when you do this like live, and you feel the air, you feel the breeze, you see all this gradation of different colors and this perspective. It just it's hard to how to feel it similar in the studio. So if somebody likes to do it or never done it and would like to do it, I encourage you very much to try, because for me it's unprecedented experience. It's a therapy for me. It helps me to relax and to think and to I feel alive when I'm doing this. Since the picture I have is vertical and I decided to go with the horizontal canvas, what I'm going to paint is not exactly how it's on the picture. So I will use it as a reference, and I usually change a little bit here and there according to my idea, what I would like for the viewer to see when he or she will be looking at my painting. What I really enjoy about this photograph and this picture is the very nice curve of this cliff. And usually the best thing to do is to invite the viewer to come in the picture from the left side, because this is how we look, how we perceive the painting, since we read from the left to the right and we look at the painting from the left to the right. And I think it's a good start for me. Is it possible? Oh yeah, I see. So usually what I would do, I have such a nice palette here, but usually I would just take some paint and get a feel of how it goes.
That's great.
So yeah,
you draw with the paint too.
I draw with the paint and I try to feel. It's like I get more like in a sculptor mode than more of a painter at this stage, because I try to sculpt what I see and I try to navigate the road map of my painting, navigate the direction the things will go, navigate of the contrast of sharp and like sleek. So yeah, for me it's vital to get a feel of the texture of the object, and I try to do it by using my hands sometimes, or by using paint straight on the canvas. So yeah, this is what I'm doing right now. And of course this character of the sycamore tree. It's a landmark. I learned, because I'm from Ukraine and traveling the coast, it's been such an amazing experience for me, and the views are just breathtaking. And of course, it's a very popular spot for people to take pictures, and I of course took the picture too. But later I learned the little history that from Italian, this pine tree, it's called a lone pine. It has a name, and it means like mourning tree or life and death tree, which kind of corresponds with my emotional state right now, because I worry about my country and about my people. But it's just a symbol, and I hope that it's a reminder that life is so short, and we need to enjoy it, and to help other people enjoy it too around you. Do you have any questions?
Hi everybody, my name is Leon. We're friends with Natalia, and I'm always amazed at Natalia's style of painting, because we come from the similar school of thought. We come from the Eastern Europe education, and what's exciting about Natalia is that she's very intuitive. Just recently, I think a few days ago, she showed me her first solo show when she was 18, and I was amazed of how many paintings she's done already by age of 18, and how profound and how advanced they were. I feel
Probably
like
they are better than what I'm doing now.
well, I don't know, but it's amazing. Like she showed me her solo show at 18 when she was 18. I don't think I picked up a pencil or brush until I was like 19 or 20. She already had a solo show with drawings and paintings at the gallery. So what we're seeing right now is, I think it's very advanced type of approach, because it feels so loose and it feels so spontaneous, but that spontaneity comes from experience actually. And you will see Natalia just kind of be totally free with masses and shapes and form, and use hands, brushes, everything tube, and it's just amazing to see how it all comes together in the end. I mean, look at this now. It's very brave to go like this. Most people would be much more on the safe route.
Yeah, I'm probably the
what do you think?
absolute opposite personality.
Well,
like,
did you have a solo show at 18?
no, I didn't.
Well, maybe that's why.
No. Yeah. What was I doing at 18?
When did you go?
Oh, I was still doing animation at 18.
Were you at Watts at 18?
I was at Watts. Yeah, at 17.
17?
Yeah.
So you're just
But
starting.
I
how to
just
draw.
started, getting
How to
like professional
sharpen a
training.
pencil, pretty much.
Well, I
Or-
mean, I was painting a little bit before that and doing animation, but not. Yeah, like no like actual real training.
Right.
But yeah, no
No,
solo shows for sure.
I think it's great. I mean, we kind of touched up on this a little bit yesterday when we were doing live stream, that there are different types of learning that, art, everyone is kind of experienced in painting, because painting is trying to mimic life, right? So we're trying to mimic seeing and looking at different things, and everyone has seen what an ocean looks like or what people look like. So you can potentially do it all intuitively if you are intuitive person, or you can be kind of academic and step by step kind of or you can be basically rely heavily on procedure. And I'm probably more of a procedure type of person. I'm not as brave as Natalia, and I think for all of you guys who are starting out, for all of you guys who are battling with the decision of going to art school or not, I think it will be very interesting to see this demo, because you see something, you'll see pure creation. You'll see a person just filling out their feelings on canvas, and then kind of organizing shapes and patterns to fit this particular subject matter. And it's totally different experience than seeing somebody pre-mix and paints, or somebody doing not painting by numbers, but something much more controlled and step by step.
Yeah, it's actually looking really good right now. It's like it quickly went, from chaos to like, there it is.
Right.
That's interesting.
It's interesting you say that I'm bold, and I guess this is how people perceive what I'm doing, but honestly it comes from not confidence.
No confidence?
Because I'll explain. Because I'm so afraid of failure, and for it not to end up looking good, and satisfying for me, that I try sometimes to kind of set it up for a failure in the beginning. So from that from that state only, it becomes better, 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 better.
So you try to make it as bad as possible in the beginning. So the only thing you could do is just to improve.
You know, it's psychological, I think. But I
It's
you know,
interesting.
I only now analyze myself why I do this, and this is the conclusion I
Come up with.
yeah,
Yeah.
why I do what I do, you know. But
Maybe that's how.
because I come I was born in Odessa, the same place Stan was born, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And my
Well, I don't know if this correct that that's where you were born, but
no, I
that's
was
correct
born
where I
there.
was born.
Yeah, I was born in Odessa because my mom was studying in the medical university there. And even though after she finished we moved, but yeah, I feel like you know this expression where your button belly is
Belly button?
belly button. Sorry. Как вот это, где зарыт пуп?
Poop? Well, what about poop?
Sorry, poop is a belly button.
You were
in
going
Russian.
deeper into the hole that you've been digging.
It's like a 6-year-old talk, you know.
I don't know.
What are you
Yeah,
trying to
but-
say?
I'm trying
Poop
to
with
say,
belly buttons.
I'm trying to say that it's an expression.
I think-
Whereas your belly button is is the essence of you. Like you can't change it. You know, it makes an impact on your life
Uh-huh.
from very beginning. That's why I love ocean. That's why I feel so the most happy when I'm next to the water. When I, you know, have this access,
Sorry, there's no
access to
pooping.
the water.
Yeah, it's- the first version was more interesting. And then you get all real and serious. Sorry guys, the camera died here. We'll get back on her painting soon.
Yeah.
We're just, you know.
You guys are
Plugging it
missing
in.
out a lot.
Yeah, she just made such a cool stroke that you guys didn't see.
It's thunder.
Oh man. If you could only see what she's doing right now.
So last time we went painting, I was observing Natalia, and she had this dingly easel that would just kind of dance in the wind. Giant canvas that would be kind of would every time the wind would blow, it would kind of move on her.
It would fall on me.
Yeah, or it would fall on her. It will fall on her. Her outfit was spectacular because every bit of it was covered by paint.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't take my
Look at that.
my special painting jacket.
Yeah, so there's a special jacket. Yeah, and then I don't know if she forgot a palette or she doesn't work with a palette, so she squeezed paint right on the canvas. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, well, maybe I should go an opposite way and just stay away, stay safe on a different side of the mountain. And I was painting my painting and thinking it was going pretty good. And then I came back a couple hours later and I saw amazing painting. I was blown away. The subtlety of light, the complexity of colors, the realism, everything about it was so lively, energetic, and that's the first time when I thought like, wow, I'm really shocked. The size, I think she did at least 18 by 24. It might have been
Oh.
bigger. And we were there only for like hour and a half. It was one of those
Like when you have
light
time.
changing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we painted from probably 4 to 6 or something like that back in the winter. and then we painted in San Juan Capistrano. Also, like she had a same easel that was just like it's dancing with each brushstroke, and giant canvas. But her results were spectacular both times. So I hope you guys are seeing all the variety of colors that she's putting in the water and the rocks. I think it's.
We do have a couple questions.
Yeah.
Sure.
So people are asking what you're painting on, if it's a canvas or a board.
Canvas. It's canvas.
Is that something? Do you work on?
Wait, can they hear you?
Yes.
No, I can ask the.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because it. Yeah, if they can't hear you.
so,
the question was, are you painting on a canvas or a board? Okay, yeah.
I prefer canvas, even though, practically wise, I would prefer a board, canvas on the board, for such going plein air and easy painting. But I don't like how paint it doesn't soak in the canvas on panel. I like that canvas, it soaks in it helps me. I like it much better than a panel. For different ideas it's different, but for particularly painting outside and painting the ocean, I prefer just canvas.
Do you work with just paint, or do you use any kind of mediums?
I wish I used any kind of mediums, but no, just plain.
But you.
But you mean like oil?
Yeah,
Yeah,
oil
I
or
said in the beginning.
do you
that-
use Gamsol?
Yeah. You mean the lacquer?
Yeah.
No lacquer.
Yeah, not
Just
not
a paint
varnish.
thinner.
Yeah, paint thinner.
Paint thinner and
Yeah.
oil.
Okay.
Sometimes just paint thinner, sometimes just oil, sometimes nothing if I forget.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you using linen or cotton?
It's linen.
Linen, okay. Cool.
Yeah, I think that was a key thing about this demo that you guys might have missed on. She said, sometimes I use this or that if I don't forget. So
If I don't forget.
a lot of times she forgets stuff, and that makes her work only better. So you guys, if there's a lot of art supplies out there, and all the companies are trying to make so much money on artists, but you try to forget some things at home, and you'll be surprised how well you'll do actually, or how it will change your style. I think Natalia was talking about this
Yeah,
last
I
night.
think so.
How she went
Which
to
one?
Mexico, Natalia.
The Fabio
couldn't
or
afford
Natalia?
it.
Okay, yeah.
She
it's
couldn't
another
find
Natalia.
something,
Yeah.
right?
Natalia Fabio. She went to plein air workshop in Mexico, and she forgot her paint thinner.
Uh-huh.
And first she thought it's gonna be disaster, but then it opened up a totally new way of painting for her. Because actually there's a lot of oils in the tubes.
Right.
And when you learn how to use just the paint itself, you paint thicker. Yeah, you use more paint, definitely.
Right.
But all your decisions are much more specific because you have to use more paint to make those decisions. When you dilute it with paint thinner, you kind of dilute ideas a little bit, color names.
Right. They spread easier. You could just kind of.
Right. They spread easier and they're less vibrant
Oh, okay.
versus.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll mix with whatever's underneath.
Right.
easier,
And if you forget a blue or green, then you have to mix green with blue and yellow, and that, which is a great idea. In fact, I remember. Well, here's my personal advice: if you want to learn how to mix greens, especially for plein air, don't bring green paint with you. Mix your greens with different kind of yellows, different kind of blues, and you'll have natural variety of greens.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. A lot of people are actually asking about materials, like pretty much all the questions. So another one that's related to this is someone asked what colors you're using. So maybe Stephen, can you cut to her palette? And then
You know, I'm so horrible with naming colors.
you could you just show them to the
It's called the lake green.
lake.
Lake green.
Okay. All right. What else?
This one is a mystery. It's
Oh Jesus! Wait, is it covered in
cobalt.
paint?
Cobalt blue.
Oh, that's cobalt. Okay.
Some violet. Is it
Okay.
correct? Violet. And some of this, this blue.
Yeah,
Which-
show it to the middle of the
Turquoise?
panel.
Oh.
I
Like-
don't know what is it. It's
Oh. Is it cerulean blue
oh.
or cobalt?
I'm sorry, guys. I know there are
Ultramarine?
people who would
I
like
think it's cobalt.
precise
Cobalt blue.
name.
Let me see.
Cobalt.
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 Which one is this? Where's two? Oh, you. All of the labels are gone. Okay. Oh. You talking about this one?
No, it's somewhere here.
Oh, it's like a pre-mixed one. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
it's a pre-mixed.
It's a pre-mixed.
Is it this one?
Yes.
Blue gray.
Oh,
Blue gray. I don't.
who would have known?
Here, let's
Yeah.
show it. There it is, guys. Blue gray. But Natalia, how much does it matter what colors you're using?
Just some color that makes me feel happy and inspired.
Right.
So just choose colors that make you guys feel happy.
There you go.
Choose happy colors.
Happy
Yeah.
colors.
Don't paint with sad colors.
Yeah, the Bob Ross sells paint in his company, so just
Really?
the happy tree
Are
colors.
they happy?
Probably.
Well,
Those
They-
they only sell the happy colors.
okay.
None of the blues. I get it.
Yeah.
Someone already proposed to you in the chat.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah. So what's your answer, Natalia?
Proposed.
He says, Natalia, marry me.
to-
And then he said, burp.
Ask him to tell him more about himself.
Yeah, Manuel.
Please be my. How you call this person who?
Husband.
Sugar
Who
daddy.
connects.
Sugar daddy. Pimp? Connects? Is that what you said?
No, the one who connects two people to get married.
Oh, yeah.
Matchmaker.
Matchmaker.
All
I
right.
went to pimp.
This is matchmaking hotline. You guys.
Oh. Gosh. Okay. Let's see. People are saying that it looks beautiful. Somebody asked.
Thank you.
Welp asks, how can you make realistic paintings feel expressive? So that's an interesting. It's realistic but expressive.
You mean like detailed? He probably
I don't
means
know.
he probably means detailed, maybe photorealistic.
They probably mean like something that looks like
Expressive.
almost real, like
Right.
No, it's a
not like a
combination.
photograph, but
Like
very
highly
much
rendered, detailed.
highly rendered detail, probably, but still expressive.
Yeah.
Well, just I guess make it realistic in. Oh, it's such an extensive question because it combines so many different things together. For example, some part should be very realistically done, and some things should be loose done. Well, the focal point is important thing, like in photography. You want your viewer to see inside of your painting, something interesting in the background. This is your focal point, or something interesting in the foreground. If it's a foreground, then the foreground should be very detailed, and the background should just help the foreground to flow, like help, like be like support for the foreground. If it's something interesting, for example, for me, it's the opposite. My focal point is on the background, and I don't know if you know, guys, but yeah, in the realistic painting, the rule is that everything in the what's closer to you, more detailed, more contrast, more correct. What's closer?
Yeah,
Yes.
the foreground. Well, yeah.
But if the focal point is at the background, then it makes much more sense to make that part, for example, this part, much more contrast, details, and everything else to point to this and help this to be that high
Yeah.
point, to be that interesting part.
Right. In other words, you could say that when we paint plein air, when we paint landscape painting, how is landscape different from portraiture or still life, for example? Well, landscape, you try to capture how light travels through distance.
Very nice.
How, what is the difference between foreground, middle ground, and background? And what occurs between those changes, right? So that's the nature of landscape versus still life, where you have some objects on usually
So atmosphere
flat surface,
and bigger depth.
right? Versus portrait, where you're painting when you're painting a figure or face. So when you go out and you choose your composition for plein air painting, don't choose portrait composition where you would have a portrait of a mountain or of a tree or of a building, or don't choose a still life where, for example, if you look down and you just paint rocks, that would be still life composition. Choose a landscape composition where you can record this change of planes, or where you can record how light travels through middle ground or foreground, middle ground, background. And what Natalia is saying is, traditionally, we're trying to lure the viewer inside the painting, right? We're trying to lure the viewer, kind of create an imaginary portkey, an imaginary window into alternative reality, and we want to kind of trap the viewer there. So the best thing is to actually have the middle ground, your focal point. If it's the foreground, then you kind of going to be blocked by the information in the foreground, and you're not going to be able to go inside the painting, and you wouldn't want to explore what's happening in the distance. If it's the background, it's probably too far to travel to, and background is rarely a focal point because usually it's diffused by atmosphere. But if it's the middle ground, it's ideal place for focal point in landscape painting, because you have foreground, it's like a trampoline. You just kind of go through the foreground, then you enjoy the middle ground, you trap the viewer inside the middle ground, and then the foreground and the background just becomes a frame for that information in
That's
the middle
interesting.
ground.
Do you know of any painters that have done really well breaking that rule?
Yes, absolutely. You guys, any rule there's always going to be a genius that would break that rule.
Of course, but I'm just thinking, do you know of any examples right off the top of your head of like, oh, this is a great one where they just did a really good background, but the middle ground, foreground are just, you know.
Well, you could say, like, for example, Soroya with his kids running on the beach.
Okay.
Right.
That seems like a middle ground, right?
Well, kids are usually running on the beach, so they're running usually on the foreground, and you know, or the sailors bringing in, you know, those bulls bringing in those boats into the onto the shore.
Yeah.
So that creates kind of interest in the foreground, and the middle ground, the ocean, is probably less important than the foreground.
Okay.
But that's figurative landscape, which could be a little bit different.
Yeah.
What else could it be? Well, I think whenever you compare different compositions, you will see that this classical approach of creating interest in the middle ground always looks more resolved. Another thing about landscape painting is choosing a reference that doesn't feel fragmented, and that's something that's very kind of difficult to teach. But basically the basic idea is, if your reference looks like a beautiful piece of something bigger, then it's a fragmented composition, and you want to try to avoid these compositions. If you can't add anything else to the piece, to that landscape scene, then it's a fully resolved composition.
Cool. More questions for Natalia.
Yeah. Someone in here was asking if she's going to change the composition.
Yeah, I was about to ask that one. Yeah, are you going to change the composition at all? I think they might be referring to the photo.
Yes. Like I mentioned in the beginning, I changed the composition first because I picked the horizontal canvas instead of vertical.
Right. That's a big change in the composition. That's huge.
But I don't change much, not much of everything that's going on actually in the sport where I focus. So it's not like I'm changing really the composition. Like I don't change the objects which I'm painting, but just just the canvas.
Someone's asking if you're squinting while you're painting.
Very much. That's why I have such a horrible wrinkles.
Yeah, someone actually even asked why you have your eyes closed. But anyway, so yeah, you squint a lot.
Very much.
Okay. Another person, this is a question for Leon, something that you said yesterday. You said to avoid using Naples paint. Would be great if you could explain why, because one of his or her teachers was really big on using Naples yellow light.
Right. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming back to the stream. Basically, Naples colors, like Naples yellow, Naples red, there's so many of them. They're kind of diluted ideas. They're diluted ideas of yellows, reds, blues, ochres, whatever. And they're washed out, they're grayed out thoughts. If a color is a thought, this is kind of diluted thought. So to me, it feels like you want to work with more vibrant colors and learn how to soften them rather than using diluted colors. That gives you more options.
That's if you're using one or the other, though, right? Like you can have convenience colors, like a Naples color, as like, okay, instead of me having to constantly gray things down, you can use a convenience color that just is already there.
Right.
Which is not for everybody. I think a lot of people just want to mix because they get more variety when you mix your grayed down colors, right? It's a little bit different every time.
Right. Well, that's a good point. Well, by the way, you guys, please understand that every teacher is a student.
That's a good way of putting it. It's true.
It's true. And they teach what they know, right? So, and whatever it works for them.
Are you backtracking?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that maybe the teacher that you had has...
Oh, you're not talking about yourself. You're talking about the teacher they had.
Right. Of course.
Oh, that's great. That's good.
Of course.
I like that. Please understand, your teacher is a
really
student.
just a student. No, it's true.
Nice.
It's true. We're students too, by the way. So he or she may be working with a certain style of painting, maybe working with a certain look that needs diluted colors, that needs Naples colors. And I think it's a good idea to kind of see how these colors work for them. But and it's true that instead of mixing or constantly softening colors, it may be a good idea to use already soft color that's kind of mediocre, and you can use it in gray areas. I was taught to dilute color through washes, through application of paint, dry brush, wash, glaze. All of those techniques help you dilute vibrancy of color. Basically, experiment yourself. Use Naples colors, right? And see what results you get. But then try to get a full body palette and see if your work is going to be more vibrant or not, right? Because your goal is to be more informative. Whether it's vibrancy, whether it's concentrating on complexity of edges or contrast, whatever it is for you, whatever information being informative means for you, but have experiment. Have a Naples palette, have a vibrant palette, and see how your work changes. For me personally, I would, well, not just for me, I would just for my students, for people that start out, I would recommend using kind of vibrant colors so that you can kind of learn the full potential of what an ochre can give you, or what Indian yellow can give you. I think but also listen to your teachers. That's the last thing I want to say, that every teacher has a point, and every teacher has specific reasoning for suggestions. So thank you for the question.
Yeah.
I don't know if I made any sense, but
I think you did.
Okay.
Yeah. Nut asks, how should I get started with oil painting if I have never painted before? 3+ years of academic drawing practice, but no painting practice at all. So basically, how do I go from drawing to now learning to paint? Natalia?
What do you think?
I guess it means getting out of comfort zone, like meaning doing something new.
Yeah. And maybe they're asking about exercises or anything specific to avoid in the beginning when you're starting.
Oh, I guess it's hard to say, because for different people it's different. Something you need to help yourself to step over, to start something new and to try whatever helps you feel more confident and comfortable to try something new. Do it. If environment helps you, find the comfortable environment to start, because the best advice is just to start, and then you'll understand. Oh, I started. Okay, how do I start? The same as in drawing. You need to figure out the composition. I use when I paint with paint, I use paint as my as a tool to make lines and shapes, and so if it will help you maybe to look at the paint brushes as your tool to make shape and forms and shading, please do it, because it's great when brush strokes, they according to the form. It creates a greater form. Am I? You think?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think also, I think what Natalia said is a very good point, that environment is a big deal. You know, if everyone just, if all your friends or the classes that you're in, everyone is just about drawing and everyone is kind of afraid of painting. And I think that's how it was a little bit for me at Watts. Like everyone was so strong on figure drawing, and it took forever for people to mature into painting. And some people even stayed with drawing and stayed graphic arts. And it took some courage to, and it almost took some effort to go outside of school and find a different community that would just paint. And I think that really helped to kind of get out of the comfort zone, like Natalia is saying. So maybe find a different group that just focus on painting. If you live in a big city, I would recommend going to museum on regular basis and just stand in front of your favorite paintings.
Yes, and see how it put the brush strokes,
Yeah.
how he did it. Oh, I do this so much.
Right, and stand in front of a painting for like 30, 40 minutes and just pretend that you're kind of filming a movie or
you are the artist who painted that.
yeah, you're the artist. Just talk this painting through. Say like, first I started this, and then I did this, and then I noticed the light over here, and I captured the difference between light and shadow, and then there's this wave, and then this, just kind of.
But what's helpful the most for me is when it's hard to understand how the whole process of like very nicely finished and polished painting. But if you by the chance see some painting of a great master not finished, then it's a treasure for me.
Right.
I see,
because you can see.
I can see and understand everything he or she was doing, which is the most. When I see some painting or drawing like this on the exhibition, it's my treasure.
Yeah, unfinished paintings, because it's not. You're right. The process is not covered by just the completion of it. There's a lot of thoughts in process, and that is really revealing of how the painting was done. But you gotta kind of go to bigger museums to see that.
And just not of course you can't imitate exactly how this or that person, but just breathe it in and kind of like eat on the back on the head. It stays with me, even though I don't exactly paint like that person, but it's like a luggage that you are
that you store. Mm-hmm.
And it helps so much. Just try to do it. Try to not be afraid of brushes or paint. Try to look at brushes and paint as correspond brushes with the pencil, correspond paint with making big spots of color with big spots of tone with whatever you using, a pencil, or you just correspond those things. It helps me in this way.
Another just a quick another
Natalia,
quick
could you look that way and then
quick thought.
Can I look at?
yeah, and then don't lean it.
Another quick thought. I remember when I was going to Watts Atelier. It's a illustrative school, right? So a lot of young, out of high school or early college kids drawing figure, learning how to be illustrators, character design, animators, all of that stuff. So it's a very specific world, right, of art making. And then outside of school, there were this sea of amateur artists that would doodle this and doodle that. And I think when you kind of get out of the school environment, I think you feel a little bit afraid of joining or going into, for example, uninstructed portrait painting sessions. You feel like, oh, I just don't, like, I want to paint, but I don't want to be part of the elderly community of painters. You know, I don't want to be part of that environment. Like, I want to just, I think getting also outside of comfort zone and seeing different pockets of art making in your town, because you'll be surprised. Maybe there would be artists that have been painting forever, and that could be a valuable resource, and it's not in your school, and you might have to like go outside of your comfort zone, but it really helps because you're there to learn. And I remember it helped me. There was a community center, and I was the youngest kid there, and there were only senior artists drawing, and maybe they were not very good. Maybe some of them were. Not a lot of them were not very good, but it was very helpful to me because I was kind of my own, and I was outside of my school comfort zone, and I was painting, and I was kind of precious and important. And I remember with Stan, even we had kind of after school painting sessions. We would paint each other, or we would hire a model.
We would paint each other?
Yeah, I think we painted. We painted Jane.
Oh, not us. We didn't paint each other.
Okay, well,
I don't remember ever painting you. I don't think I've ever painted you.
You probably
Have you ever painted me?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever painted
But
each
we
other.
painted Jane.
We
Do
did
you
paint
remember that?
Jane, and we painted Melissa.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
wife.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's much later. Yeah,
Yeah.
we painted Sophia
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. Okay. Yes, we went to Sophia's house. We even had a model come in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. That I think. Well, point is, the school will facilitate environment and will give you some things, but don't stop there. Sometimes you have to go outside of comfort zone and into a different campus to find a different exposure, and you might find something very useful in unexpected places.
Speaking of school,
20 years ago?
Yeah.
people
my
are actually
God.
asking
Yeah.
what Natalia's journey was for school.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about our. Dang, Leon, this is 20 years ago. What else did we do? Yeah.
We
Natalia,
swim naked.
I didn't swim naked. That
No.
was you. Anyway,
I mean,
back to
I
Natalia.
swim naked for sure. Yeah.
I don't remember swimming naked, but yeah, Natalia, tell us about your history, how you got started painting in Ukraine and all that.
How did I start? Well, the first important.
I was born.
I was born.
No.
I was always painting when I was in like elementary school, but I was like, my parents and my grandparents especially wanted me to explore all kinds of things when I was little. I would dance, and I would play chess, and I would play piano and sing and do acting and play table tennis. And finally, when I got to be 10, my mom asked me, Natasha, what would you like to do? Not what we want you to do, but what would you like to do? And I said paint, apparently. Oh, but the first, in Ukraine, as a post-Soviet country, as a part of like special education for gifted children, there was a school which started from the 5th grade, and where it was 6 days a week, and 3 days we would just paint, draw, and sculpt, and 3 other days a week we do all this and like learn all other subjects. And my mom learned about it by accident. It's not very like promoted or like, and only majority of students there are like generational children of artists and artists. And I was not in that environment. My parents are not artists, but somehow they accepted me, and I guess they saw something in my early works, and from there it was a great start for me. And I remember my teacher. I think about her advices very much, even though I had studied from many other artists after this, but she would never touch anybody's painting. She would never show. She only would try to explain with words and try to explain with examples, and she would really be helping finding artists who are similar personalities than her students were, and she would introduce us to those artists, and it would help so much to grow, because she helped find our voice. Not that she would teach, because a lot of teachers, they teach what they know and how they do this. She tried to find the best fit, the best kind of teacher for us in those masters that already existed, and like connect us with them, which I think is a great thing that she did, and it helped me not become not become tired, and not become overwhelmed, and keep my abilities and keep my special thing that I got, to keep it and not to keep it and flourish it. So I'm very thankful to her for that. And from there I went to Art Academy in the capital of Ukraine for 4 years, and I studied in Italy for 1 year in Florence Classical Arts Academy, where I had amazing teachers from St. Petersburg and Moscow, and I very much give credit to my teacher, Sergei Chubirko, who taught composition and drawing. I learned so much from him, and he was the opposite of my first teacher. He would always show how to do this and talk very little. And I remember he was very wouldn't talk very much to the students, or wouldn't say, "Oh, good job, you did this great." No, he would be very, very not verbal, and wouldn't say, "Is it good or bad?" Nothing. No, mostly bad, but bad things. But at the end of the year, I drew a portrait, which later on won a drawing contest, international drawing contest in Denmark. And I remember he came and looked at my portrait and he said, "That's good." First and last time, and I never heard him say it to anybody else, or never ever. And it was such it's a big encouragement for me. And later on, this drawing helped me I got to study some animation in Denmark, which was also a great experience, an amazing group of creative artists. And
What kind of animation?
it was like classical animation, but
2D drawing animation?
yes, 2D drawing animation.
Oh, cool.
Yes. It's a great school. It's called the Animation Workshop. They do mostly like short movies and short cartoons. And from there on, I got my master's degree in Ukraine, and I continued to learn and explore and study from different artists, and I believe that every artist has something special and something to something valuable and treasure and something interesting, something that I can learn from each one.
How many years of education do you think you had?
I think it's around 14.
14. So, for those of you who are thinking about art, it takes a while. I think it takes a while for everybody. How long do you think it took you, Stan, to
get to what?
To get to a comfortable level where you feel like, okay, I'm good enough to be a professional?
It's tough because it's like there were different phases where I would get comfortable because not because I was actually good enough, but because my confidence level went up.
Well,
and then I would realize I'm not that good.
Well, how about
and
this?
then I'd be like, oh, okay. And then
Confident enough to be a professional, whether it's to teach or to start a business or just basically start making money. Well, not making money.
doing things.
Yeah.
I think I had that from a very early age.
Very late.
I mean, I was doing commissions when I was like 14. They were not good, but they were good enough that my parents' friends would be like, "Oh yeah, let's do it." Like,
Yeah.
they were
let's
still
get more.
paying.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they were.
But that's
getting it for
important
free.
because that's huge part of
Yeah,
That's what
that
made you
fear.
who you are now.
probably
right. No, that is a huge thing.
Yeah.
Because main fear I think that I hear people have is just, well, if you're going to be an artist, you're going to be poor for the rest of your life, and that may be true. But then there are examples of people that.
But I don't do art. But anyway, but it's not. Let's make it not about. Let's not make it about me. Do you know who Gorman Bentley is, Natalia?
Yes.
Yeah, he's commenting on the chat. He's talking about your story. He says, Natalia taught me from the very beginning basics to where I can now sometimes paint like I don't care. In the first 2 years of the pandemic, then the war began and she had to leave her home with her family. She's as amazing as you see her, and her life story so far should be a novel or movie.
Thank you, Gorman.
Tell us about that part of it. What, like,
Gorman
he's probably referring
is,
to the war part.
Gorman is an amazing personality because he is very knowledgeable in art. He's Getty volunteer, and Norton Simon also hires him as a tour guide, and he's very, very good in explaining art in very deep art things in very simple and easy to understand words. I love talking with him because he knows my language limitations, and he always can find simple words to explain very deep and sometimes very complex things. If you by chance visit Norton Simon or Getty, and he's amazing in what he's doing. And when he started painting, he did couple paintings before we met, and then he told me he was interested in abstract art, and very. It was an interesting story. So he contacted California Art Club if somebody can teach him how to paint abstract. And California Art Club replied to him. He contacted some members of California Art Club, and this person, he's my good friend, and he said, well, I'm not sure about people who can teach abstract, but I know somebody who can probably do this, and he recommended me, which was a great. I'm very thankful for this, because it's interesting. I teach Gorman all the history and all the knowledge I have about European artists, and he teaches me all the history and knowledge of American artists and American art. And it's been great friendship for me.
I want to remind people about the link to donate. The Proko.com/Ukraine. I don't know if Steven, you want to put that, or I guess it's at the bottom there. We have you can buy some original paintings on there. I think Natalia, yours is sold, right?
Yes.
The one from yesterday. Okay, yeah, that one's already sold.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. I think mine and Leon are still available, and all the proceeds go to the humanitarian efforts in Ukraine. And then there's digital courses, mentorship sessions, and then you can also just donate some money. We'll do a raffle with some random people winning prizes as well. So that's at Proko.com/Ukraine. Let's see. More questions?
Natalia, do you plan to put the trees?
I do.
But in very end?
Yes, in the end. How much time do I have?
You have about 45 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, 20.
The painting is looking wonderful. It's
Yeah.
looking really exciting.
Thank you.
Yeah, one thing I'm noticing, like seeing this on my phone, is it's not nearly as bright. Like the colors are not as vibrant as in real life.
It
Which
always
is
happens.
interesting. Like the compression when anytime there's a live stream, like the videos just get compressed quite a bit, and a lot of times the colors are the things to go first, like the color depth.
Yeah.
So, sorry guys. Right, Steven? Is that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, the color depth just kind of.
Yeah, it gets crunched.
Yeah. So imagine all the greens and the blues in the waves at the bottom there. Just imagine them more vibrant. That's what that's what's actually happening. Yeah.
Oh,
But then maybe the screen is not best. Maybe.
Well, that's not what you're seeing there. Is not the live stream.
Oh.
You're seeing just straight from the camera.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, here. If you look at my phone.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's much grayer.
Much great.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we're sending that, but that's what they get at the end.
Wait, and this is further along.
Oh, it's 30 seconds behind in the stream. That's 30 seconds.
Okay.
Okay, let me see. More questions. Someone loves your ability to mix values. How did you guys learn value? That's a question.
learn a value. Well, it comes to the black and white and the drawing experience, and I do it intuitively, and I squint and I try to imitate as close as I can by using different brushes, how I apply the paint, how do you learn values? I guess just the best way is to make the color paint and to make color paint into black and white mode. Yeah.
Yeah. Or drawing. I mean, the way I learned it was with drawing.
Yeah.
To just avoid color in the beginning, and then just tune your eye to see value, and then but then when you start adding color to it, you almost have to relearn it a little bit. You have to start seeing value in the color, because it's kind of, it gets
For
hidden.
some
It's
people it's
distracting.
very hard. I understand.
I think that that's one of the first things that you kind of learn is how to create your image focused and informative, and because everybody kind of goes in the middle of the road. Darks too light, lights kind of dark, colors not saturated, just kind of everybody goes in the middle of the road. And I think teacher's job is always teach student how to name things more specifically. Okay, these are shadows, and they're significantly darker than lights. These are lights. These are, for example, these are the different colors of the ocean, and watch how they change from the bottom to the middle to the top, from left to right. This is the color of the sky, and let's see how it changes again from the horizon going up, higher up. So, and then finishing work and seeing your work at the show is a big deal. I think that's one of the things that I think Natalia also has a lot of experience is showing her work. I think when you show, when finally you see your work at the gallery or at the show, you'll see it as if it's totally different painting. You see all the mistakes right away, and especially when you take it outside of your studio, you'll see it in a different light, and usually it's in a little bit of time. You sometimes maybe haven't seen your work in a little bit, so seeing your drawings or paintings in different environment, seeing them in a row with other artwork, really teaches you, really gives you an idea what you should have done better to make it more informative, to make it more vibrant, to make it more expressive, all of that. So a lot of it is experience also, and 14 years of just education, and on top
Just
of
mileage.
that,
Just
yeah.
looking at value, replicating it over and over and over again. Judging
yeah.
value.
Yeah, great suggestion for all of you guys. Exhibit your work. Try to
Yeah.
be in shows. Put your work in local coffee shops, competitions. Yeah, from simple things like restaurants, coffee shops, wherever places take work for free.
For me, competitions were huge because they motivated me to do something to try to get to as high level as possible.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. It was great motivation.
Yeah, and everybody's motivated by different things. For example, if you are afraid of competitions and they just kind of they put too much pressure on you, then exhibit it at a local place. But it's very important to see your work hung on the wall, exhibit it someplace, and you get a different perspective, and you get to see, you get to learn so much from the experience.
Yeah, and it's not about winning either, and it's hard because it's hard not to care in that moment that you like either you lost or whatever, but you do have to remember like that's not the point of doing a bunch of these competitions and shows. Like if you don't sell anything, that's totally fine too. Like just participating and doing it is going to help you improve faster to get to that point where you are selling and winning.
Speaking of learning from an experience and not necessarily getting a win, someone just mentioned that they bought one of the Proko critiques and they're scared.
They better be scared. Did they buy one with me or just one? Because there's a bunch of people doing the mentorships. Yeah, whoever said who was it? Let's see. Let me go to the comments. Alexandra S. I got the pro critique. Time to panic. Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing she's referring to me as Proko, but yeah, I'll try to be nice, Alexandra.
You'll try.
I'll try, but I will
No
also be
promises.
honest. But it's okay. You know you're not perfect, right? Like nobody is. That you gotta hear
girls
the
are
real
perfect. Come on.
stuff. What's
are
it, girls?
Yeah.
Well, they're they're perfect in many ways. Are we going there? Are we going there?
Yeah. tell
Yes,
us
girls are
about it.
perfect. My wife is perfect, but I can't say the same thing about.
Is she watching?
So is my. Probably not. Which is perfect.
And your
No,
daughter,
my
right?
daughter is also perfect.
Yes.
Even more perfect.
Yeah, good job, Dad.
Yeah. Oh no, but she is actually perfect. Yeah, she's great. Okay, I'll get another question here. Oh, somebody said that they'll buy this painting if it's for sale.
It is for sale.
It is where? Are you donating this one too?
I think so, yeah.
You think so? Oh,
If they could, they would.
if they could. Well, they can now.
Yeah, they can. Just because they don't have money doesn't mean others can't.
Oh, if they could, they would.
Oh.
I misinterpreted that. So I thought what it meant was I can't because it's not up on the rewards page. Because I don't know if I don't think we
Is
put
it?
it up. I don't think so.
I
No,
think
it's up.
it's up.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, let me see.
Proko.com/Ukraine.
Yeah, I didn't see it pop up on there. Let me see. Scroll down past all these events. Oh, original studio. It is available. So whoever said that, go to proko.com/Ukraine and you can get it.
You can make your wish come true.
You make your wish come true and feed some children and refugees and help some people with their hospital bills.
Yeah,
and
no,
stuff.
serious help right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys
But
It's
if you don't
really
have
good.
money, that's okay. Don't feel pressured.
ask your parents.
Huh?
Share the link then.
Yeah, share the links. Have somebody else get it.
Yeah, you know, in Ukraine right now, this what changed my perspective on life and what matters in life, and on my art too, because you know when something like this happens, and it affects you, your family, your country, it changes your perspective on things and changes your values. And yes, right now, like everybody in Ukraine is doing everything they can to end this war and help each other. And yes, so many people here in United States I know supporting Ukraine, and it is so valuable because without support, it's valuable so much. It lifts up spirit, it lifts up everything. And when you have such support, when you believe, when you have people who are there for you, when you feel that if you need something, it's available, just do what you have to do and help other people and be there. This is what my dad is doing right now, because he stayed in Ukraine and he built our house. He was building it for 20 years. And his dream was my parents always loved to have friends and people who don't have place to stay or in need to come over and stay at our house and feed them and take care of them. But right now he feels so much like it gives him energy and power, and knowing that this house that he was building for 20 years are now 15 people are using, because my dad is hosting 15 people, 3 families in our house right now, and one family lost their house. It completely got destroyed in Donetsk region, and they are like a young family and have one little toddler, 2 years old, and 5 days ago she gave birth. And it's so encouraging, because so many people die, so many my age people die, and so many women like feel insecure to give birth in such circumstances, and it's a hope, like when there is support of people in Ukraine, it gives them hope, and hope for the better future, hope that they will survive, hope that they will be able to live and not die. So your support is so valuable, and so it melts my heart, because it's very, very needed right now. And I am so proud of what my parents are doing. They are helping refugees, and around 60 people already they've been hosted through during these 2 months, and helped with everything they need, and money, food, clothes, place to stay, everything, because my parents' house, it's in the western part of Ukraine, where it's not occupied. It still gets bombed, got bombed multiple times, but it's relatively safe, and I pray and hope that it will end soon, and the peace will be restored. So thank you very much for your support, and it's so valuable.
Natalia, Leon's mentioning your father has a charity or a website or something?
Correct. So for the past 10 years, they've been helping people in hard life circumstances. When especially like with the housing, because my dad built a special extension in our house to host such people, and sometimes it's orphans or like young adults that come from orphanage, and young girls who never had experience of being in the family, and they give them this opportunity, and they accept like them in our family. But right now, because so many people, like millions of people in Ukraine, are displaced, it is such a big need for what they're doing right now. They our house is like a shelter for those people. And when I was in Poland, I drove humanitarian help, because it's for a month there, because it was a big need for somebody who can drive and has a car to actually bring the supply and help into Ukraine. And my mom is a doctor, so she they founded a national helpline for people in crisis, and they receive phone calls from all different parts of Ukraine, and that's how people find them. And these people that live right now in our house, this is how they found, through the website and through the helpline and online.
What's the website?
So
is that what you're looking for, Leon?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Their website is in Ukrainian and Russian.
Oh, you have to type it in Cyrillic?
I have to type it in.
No, I'll give you the book. Just give us a second.
And my mom is a doctor. She consults, even though they were able to come a month ago here on tourist visa, but she she's physically here, but mentally and emotionally and everything is like she's completely there because especially women and like people with trauma and stress and loss and become to have medical problems and issues and all related to what's happening right now in Ukraine, and she tries to help. And my dad would she would make a prescription for those people, and it's possible to buy medication without like a prescription in Ukraine. Like you don't have to actually handle a prescription. So this is how they work. My mom would she would like make a like screening, and people would tell their issues and she would prescribe, and my dad would buy all the medication and send or deliver.
Okay. Do you need a phone?
Yeah.
I have a phone here.
I wanted to see the website that she gave me.
Oh.
Do you remember the website?
Yes, of course I remember. Is it possible to do later?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if we could do it later, but
I know
you?
it's on my phone. But I think
You might have texted it to me a while ago.
I did.
Maybe I'll look for it, but
Yeah, so their organization is not very big, but it's mobile. They had around 10 people, and majority of them were volunteers who actually were in different parts of Ukraine and were able to give like physical help, physically, meet with the people, buy things, deliver things, help with everything, being host, and they also partner with some organizations who also like they connect with each other, because people are from different places and they can help physically in their area. But if somebody calls from far, and Ukraine is a pretty big country, needs somebody physically to be present in that place to help this particular person, a particular family.
yeah, I put the link in the chat.
So, Natalia, what are you thinking about now, at this stage of the painting?
Oh, what do I think? I haven't done the main thing yet. I haven't done.
What's the main thing?
The main thing is a tree.
Oh, I
The tree
see.
of life. and
I
death.
love the rocks, and then the foreground waves coming in there is beautiful.
Thank you very much.
And
Yeah.
you really feel that sense of light, warm
Mhm.
light,
Yeah,
and cool shadow.
the sunlight.
Yeah,
Definitely.
you really feel like there's a fresh wind in your face, and you're standing right there.
You can smell the salt.
Thank you.
I can
Thank you
smell
for
the
your kind
salt.
words.
It might be somebody's socks, though.
Am I somebody's socks? Why? Is that what you smell when you're on the beach? Maybe the seals, the sea lions, or the sea
It's
lions?
just the seaweed.
the seaweed. Yeah.
Yeah, I love these trees because they're so special and yeah, so interesting to me. I mean, the nature here is so different from where I grew up and lived my life. It's so fascinating. It's completely different landscape and
It's very different.
nature. Yeah.
Did you travel throughout Europe at all?
I did.
Where'd you go?
So I studied in Italy and Denmark
Oh,
and visited Germany and all countries that Ukraine borders with. I would love to go to Spain. But yeah. I also been in Sweden, in Netherlands, just for a couple of days. It's not really like I could explore much.
What are your influences for plein air painting?
Whoa, my influences. Well, I don't know.
Okay, next question.
You know, I think I already told this, but even though my family right now consists my mom and my stepdad, but my biological dad, he's an artist, and he lives in Odessa, and I don't really know him as a dad at all. As an artist, a little bit, and as a friend, but he's not social personality. He's very much into painting, and I met him in person 4 times in my life. But what my mom tells me very often, she says, "Natasha, did you see this painting of your dad, this and this?" And I say, "No, I've never seen this painting." She said, "Well, but what you're painting right now is exactly this, what he is doing." So it's amazing. It's interesting to me that I so much, usually you get something from, learn from a person or become, get some characteristics of another person by spending time with them, having a strong relationship. But I never had this with my dad. But my style and how I do this and what I like to do and even how I arrange things, it's very much like my dad, which I never really knew. This is interesting for me.
There's a question: how much practice did it take to get such loose brush strokes?
How much practice? Oh.
I feel like the answer to that is different from what the person's expecting.
What do you think
So
they're
divided
Well-
expecting?
by 12?
Divided by 12, multiplied by 17. No, I feel like it's not about how much practice did it take, but maybe how did you get to the point where you were comfortable doing that, making that decision to.
Do you remember yourself in
such
the
a
beginning?
long time.
And did you paint the same way always?
Yeah.
No.
So you've changed yourself a lot.
No. First couple years, not at all. I was actually I changed a lot, and every artist can relate to this, I think. And I look back on my early paintings and think, it was so great. I can't do this anymore. And no, I definitely painted very differently. Like a couple years ago.
A couple of years ago. So you've changed just recently.
Yeah.
Do you think?
I think I've changed multiple times.
How much do you think the environment affects your work?
Very much.
So,
Very
people
much.
watching you versus painting in your own studio, is this a big deal for you?
This kind of environment?
Or
No.
whatever.
What influences me is different places. If I'm in San Diego, I feel different than if I'm in Los Angeles, and I paint different. Territory influences me very much. Like the atmosphere. Yeah,
Does
territory
it
for
help
some
to
reason.
have kind of sort of a pressure of doing a stream? Like this work looks so fresh and so loose, like it feels like you're so confident. Would it be the same way if you would be just sitting quietly in your room painting
Um,
or not?
I feel very good here because I'm among friends. Maybe if I was among enemies, I wouldn't feel so great and wonderful. But and among such wonderful people who are watching me and leaving comments and asking questions, it makes me feel comfortable and comfortable to do what I do. But honestly, I very much enjoy painting outside, and when people come and ask me questions and look at my painting and uh, it makes me feel like I have friends, like I'm not alone, like it gives me such a boost of happiness when there are people who watch what I'm doing
Yeah, and support.
and support. And here people are so amazing. I don't think I would get this much great support in Ukraine, but people in United States in general are very generous for support, which it's so valuable.
Yeah, I remember my mom saying that a lot when we first moved here. That the people are so nice.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like it's politeness and like afraid. You know, people are more afraid to hurt people's feelings here,
Right.
right?
Right. Well, and because I guess everyone has to learn how to live among different type of people. Because in Ukraine,
Right. Yeah.
it's like it's people are
everybody is
similar.
Ukrainian.
So if you're a little bit different, you're just a total outcast.
Okay. Right. Yeah. So there's more
No,
tolerance
actually,
of different
Diversity.
people here. Yeah.
No, actually, in Ukraine, if you're from another country and you come and live in Ukraine, you're a celebrity. Maybe you are not like people would be very supported, but you will feel like a celebrity. I think so.
Joe says that he thinks it's impossible for Natalia to have enemies.
Oh,
Isn't that true?
oh no, that's definitely not true.
Okay. Painting among enemies sounds like my worst nightmare. And then someone else says, sounds like a new type of game show. Yeah, people in the chat are having fun.
This could be interesting.
A game
Live-
show?
live
Bring your
stream,
enemies?
live stream.
What is it?
Just see how that changes. An artist.
That'll be interesting.
Because it does. I mean, different people have different level of sensitivity, but I am very sensitive, and
But some people will collapse. Some people will
Yeah.
Be totally
Inspired by
inspired. Yeah,
Yeah.
motivated. by it.
it. I'll show you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Joe, the same Joe says, I've been in Ukraine, and yes, I felt like a celebrity.
Oh, good job.
Yeah. How so, Joe? what did people do? Do you also know Alexandra S? I don't know her last name, but
Unfortunately,
That was the
no.
one who bought the reward, the Proko critique.
oh, okay. Okay, got it. Yeah, so she says Natalia avoids talking about throwing down in the schoolyard. Girl is a thug.
Wait. I didn't
Yeah, I
hear
know.
that.
There's a lot of slang here. Throwing down in the schoolyard is like,
Fights.
yeah, like fighting other kids, and then girl is a thug. You're
The game.
you're in a gang. Yeah.
So are they saying she's
Yeah,
like that?
she's saying you're actually in a gang and you're a badass and you fight you used to fight other kids. She's saying you're tough. I think that's the moral of that.
I mean, I wish I was.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wish. Maybe life would be easier for me. Maybe harder.
Probably harder.
Yeah.
Probably.
Were you tough?
As a kid?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Stan had a black belt as a kid.
Wow.
That doesn't mean anything.
Were you confrontational as a kid?
No, not really.
Between you and your brother, who would be more of a troublemaker?
My brother. Neither one of us were troublemakers. We were both
Mellow.
followed the rules pretty good. Yeah.
How about Julian?
No, I'm mama's boy.
You're a mama's boy.
I'm sorry.
And you were always this tall, right?
Always.
You were always bigger than your mom.
Yeah.
That's funny. It's a funny scene. How tall were you in middle school?
Oh, that's
No,
a good
I
question.
actually started growing. I don't think I stopped growing until 22. Like I kept on growing past 18 up until 22 or 23.
Wow.
I was taller, but I wasn't as tall as I am now. And I was on basketball team. And
You were?
yeah.
Oh, okay. you felt like you had to be?
Well, yeah.
Yeah?
Even though I love soccer.
That's how that goes.
Yeah.
They
What?
make you play basketball.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Wait, you went to high school in the United States, right? You were,
Yeah.
what, 9 or 12?
13.
13? Okay, so that was like the beginning of high school when you got here, and they're like, "Whoa, who's this kid? Join the basketball team."
Yeah. Well,
Is that what you seems like you've got some suppressed feelings at this moment. There's something you're not saying.
No, I mean, I loved soccer, but nobody wanted to take me in seriously as a soccer player.
But nobody takes soccer seriously here. What does that even mean?
That's the problem.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
let's see. A bunch of questions, I think. No.
I guess we're going for 15 more minutes. What do you think is the most important thing for you to try to get in the time?
What is the most important is to get in the time. There is always to go on and on. Just yet.
How do you know when
try-
you're done?
How do I know when I'm done? When I start to not make it better but worse.
Maybe that means you need to come back to it. Sometimes your brain's getting foggy. Or do you always do one session?
You know, I very rarely come back.
Oh, okay. So you paint one session. Okay.
Why do you think is it so? Do you think you say everything you wanted to say in just one session?
Because I feel like if I come back, I already interrupting something. Because when you're working, the paint is wet and you like I'm afraid that I'll bring something, like I'm in a different mood next
Right.
day or a different setting, and I bring something not natural to that particular painting.
Right.
This is
Break
what
the
I
flow.
feel.
Yeah, yeah.
Very rarely, but only if it's my imagination.
But it's not true about figurative work, though, right?
It's a little bit different. but it definitely applies for me too when I do something like this.
Someone's asking me how the stream with ZHC went earlier today. It went well. People got slapped with food a lot.
What?
Yeah. What? Yeah, they drew on iPads, and then they giving away the customized iPads. So it was fun. They drew dragons and stuff, and then they voted for. They had the audience vote for who's gonna get slapped with a pickle and with a tomato. It was fun. They ended up raising like $2,000 or $3,000 during that 1 hour.
That sounds
Yeah, but they don't save the streams on that channel. They don't keep them up, so unfortunately you can't watch it anymore. But back to Natalia. Let's see. I'll see any content from Leon. Oh, someone's asking, will we possibly see any content from Leon on the channel in the future? Leon, are you interested in the channel?
In the channel. I think if there's a demand.
Yeah.
Well,
They liked your small color symposium yesterday.
yeah, you had a little lesson within the stream yesterday.
Oh yeah, about color.
Yeah, color lesson.
Yeah.
We might clip that out and post it as like a little something.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you guys speak up. If
Speak up, guys.
if you're interested.
What do you think?
In content, we can talk.
I mean, Gregan is interested.
Oh.
And then Elizabeth says,
Hi,
yes,
Gregan.
more Leon. Yeah, Leon lives in San Diego here, like really close, so that would be a very easy thing. He's right by the Proko studio.
Yeah, Leon always gives a good advice. He always gives me a good advice, at least. At least I know. And yeah, always ask you right questions, I think. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, a lot
Maybe
of people are
sometimes
saying more
he
Leon.
does. He's more like he doesn't give. Sometimes he gives exact advice, but sometimes he asks questions and you yourself find out the best advice. No, you know.
So sometimes he gives you the answer and sometimes he doesn't.
He doesn't, but he knows how to ask.
He leads you.
Yes,
answer?
correct.
Nice.
Questions. Mm-hmm.
Makes you feel like you found it yourself.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Gives you that confidence boost.
Oh, come on. Stop it.
Aww. That's cute.
Yeah, but this is true.
Oh, Gregan, this is your student?
Yes.
Oh, you know. Oh, did you pay him to do this?
No, I
Hey,
recognize
Gregan,
the
did
name.
you-
That's why I said hi, Greg.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay.
Hey.
Yeah, he says, I'm a student. He's an amazing teacher that I think every artist can learn from. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Have you done your homework?
Gregan, have you done your homework? What's the homework?
They're working on master copies.
Which
They're
they have to
doing-
choose the master?
They've chosen it. So we're
Okay.
working on figure drawing,
Or? Mm.
and they're doing master copies at home and live drawing in class. But this week is going to be exciting because we're going to go to Museum Natural History.
Yeah, we can start going back to museums now.
Right.
Oh man, those museums are open.
Yeah.
I went this past weekend.
Yeah?
Great.
Where'd you go?
All of them over there.
All of
We
them.
got
You
both.
went to all
We went
museums.
to 4. We got the pass. to
Whoa.
go to
Oh,
4.
you in the Balboa
Are you
Park.
serious?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Balboa Park. Yeah,
Got
this
it.
is LA. Yeah.
Oh, wait, different natural history.
Yeah, the one in
Okay.
LA. But,
Bit fancy.
well,
I-
yeah.
that's cool. Yeah. Balboa Park's got some museums. So, Leon, at what point, and also Natalia, at what point do you guys recommend people start doing master studies? Like, if you're like, you're
You're
just starting
stuck,
out and you're
especially.
18
Mhm.
or 16, do you start doing master studies right away?
Yes, I was doing a lot of master studies when I was 15, but I wish I started earlier.
Really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
I think it's a very good question because we live in different visual aesthetics. We live
Yeah.
in aesthetics of Instagram, photography, instant gratification, all of that stuff. Fine art is different aesthetics, and I think huge part of understanding art is actually learning different aesthetics. What are the aesthetics of Renaissance paintings and falling in love with it? What are the aesthetics of Greek sculpture? What are the aesthetics of Caravaggio and Velázquez or Sargent and or Rembrandt? I remember Rembrandt for longest time. I was at the academy going on third and fourth year. I didn't get Rembrandt. I didn't like him. I didn't care for him. Everybody was raving about Rembrandt.
Natalia's looking at you
I'm-
like you're a monster.
Yeah. No, I knew he was good. I knew he was important because everyone kept talking about it, but just I didn't get it.
I know the feeling. I didn't always get Rembrandt either, and,
Right.
and I still don't appreciate him as much as I appreciate a lot of other artists that are so obviously
Right.
It's so obvious why they're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Um,
But it's
yeah,
important, guys.
yeah.
There are kind of 20 artists in art history that just stand on its own platform, pedestal, and all museums try to exhibit these 20 artists, and it's important to understand why. Like El Greco's, Velázquez, Goya, Titian, list can go on. I can name 10, and maybe there could be more precise. Vermeer for sure, and lots more. But it's important to understand why these are considered so important, and that's where master copies come in, because you learn aesthetics on totally different level. When you look at something, you could say, I like it, or I don't like it. When you copy it, you get to speak to the master through time, and you kind of understand it on totally different level because you study it in much more detail. So in a way, you get a free lesson from this grandmaster. In a way, you get to talk to this artist through ages, and that's precious. There's nothing like that. No live class session can replace that. So as early as possible, as much as possible.
yeah. Natalia, why? What did Leon not understand about Rembrandt when he didn't get him?
I guess because he's so simple, and
Leon
is so simple-minded.
who Rembrandt? Or Leon?
No.
Well, yeah. No. What did Leon not understand? Wait, that was a joke.
Rembrandt is so simple.
Yeah, Rembrandt is so simple. Okay, we were just joking that Leon is so simple. He doesn't
Because
understand.
Leon is so simple.
No, Leon definitely not simple. That's why
Not
he
as
didn't
simple as
understand.
That's the problem.
That's right.
Leon doesn't get it.
Yeah, I love Rembrandt.
I love him too, yeah.
Especially,
I'm sorry.
the collection in St.
sorry.
Petersburg.
No, it's
Yeah.
true. It's easy to I think when you start out, I fell in love with two artists.
It changes, yeah.
Dali, Salvador Dali, and Caravaggio. Those are the two that I just like. And I think Dali is just so exciting. When you were not a teenager, when you were maybe
Interesting.
late teenager, you gravitate to something very catchy, right?
Or something
Yeah.
you understand and can relate.
Or that, right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
Because for me, Rembrandt.
Something
I
emotional
understand
probably, and
Rembrandt.
something
I
very
don't-
graphic, and something very kind of in your face. That's what you understand first. It's harder to understand Leonardo da Vinci because he's so subtle. He's so wise, and he's so just
So
there's
subtle.
and-
So
and-
genius.
Yeah, no, it's true.
What does that mean?
It's hard to understand that.
Oh, okay, got it. It's hard to understand it. Yeah, it's
Right.
like fashion.
Because you
It's, like,
understand
impossible
catchy
to get.
stuff, right? But please understand that the more you paint, the more you change as a person and you grow as a person, and the more ability you have to understand much more subtle things.
Yeah.
So some loves will stay with you forever. I still love Caravaggio, but some just turn into infatuations, and you move on to different artists.
Oh, is this some metaphor for something?
Yeah, love.
Okay.
No, it's not a metaphor. It's straightforward, Tom.
This is straightforward. You're saying exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we got 2 minutes left, you guys. Natalia.
Oh, so sad.
Yeah. What are you thinking about right now? How are you ending this piece? Or is there anything that you wish you had more time to?
Of course.
What is
Of
it?
course, I wish I had
Are you
more
gonna
time.
draw the tree on the left?
Oh, this
Leon,
one?
backseat driver.
Well, I don't want to.
Oh.
Come on, man. She doesn't want to put it in.
I was waiting for that tree.
Oh, you're waiting for the tree.
You could Photoshop it later.
Okay.
Just put it in later.
Maybe we should take a vote.
No, I think she should just choose what she puts in her painting. You're gonna pay all your students to vote for you again. Let's see. Someone's want to say Natalia is very brave. As someone who was in Ukraine when the war started, seeing people leave their homes, it was very disheartening.
It was.
Yeah.
Especially for children, it's such trauma. Because it was not as traumatic for me as for my little siblings.
Hmm.
Yeah, especially for children, unfortunately. Mhm. Yeah, thank you very much for your help. It's how much time?
0 minutes. We're at 6 o'clock. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Final.
Final strokes.
Do you sign your paintings?
Oh, I usually forget, but thank you for reminding.
You want me to zoom in? See that?
Should we sign
Okay, where are you gonna sign it? Bottom right?
here? Bottom left.
Oh, bottom left. Oh, that's as far as I can go.
Under the missing tree.
There it is.
Wonderful.
Woohoo!
Alright.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
who...
you.
Here, I'll go to this one, I guess. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for all the people that donated. We have 2 more days of streams. I think we got like 7 live streams tomorrow. What is it, 6 or 7? It's I don't know. Either way,
Whichever number is higher of whatever anyone's asking, it's that higher number.
it's a higher number. Okay. Well, either way, it's a lot of streams tomorrow, and then I think we have another 4 or 5 on Friday. A lot of really good artists are participating, donating. Jesus, you're not even in the frame, man. Why did you stand up? Were you on your toes? You were standing on your toes. That's pretty funny. Yeah, no, there's a lot of really good artists that are
Hi, guys.
participating and donating their paintings and their time and everything. So please come support. Go look at the schedule at proko.com/Ukraine. It's on the screen. All the information is there. All the buttons to click are there too. So thank you guys. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you very
Natalia.
much. Thank you
It's
very
beautiful.
much.
Cut to that painting
Thank
again one
you.
more time before we.
It's gorgeous.
I will zoom it out. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay. Bye guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.